Can people hear me? Anyone who's not on Discord. So I know if I'm on Discord, you can probably hear me. But other people, people from Twitch. Yes, okay, we have done it. We have successfully rebooted a stream live. That is extremely cool. Okay, so where are we? I was talking about upt. I was talking about nuxt websites, and the key reason, and I am easily distractible, and I'm sorry about that, but someone has it.com, and it's a nuxt website, and ASUS. This is so cool. Hostinger, Fedora. Okay, there are some very nice websites built on Nuxt, including GitLab. Right, amazing. So the reason I mentioned this was that I see that most people are on Nuxt 4. Most people are on Nuxt 4.4, in fact. And so the number of people who are going to be end of life very shortly with 3.x is actually not so many people, thankfully. This is also not up to date. This is just up to date as of when the site was scanned. So the sites, this is a 5,000 site, so we scan them once a month. And so potentially sites are newer. Right. So yes, why shouldn't we use upt to release Nuxt? Okay, that is the question. Maybe Frankie is quite rightly calling me out on that. Okay, let's do that. That's going to give us something to do. Like we didn't have anything to do. Okay, let's set up upt. Right. The reason I didn't set it up was that I wasn't sure upt would work. But why? Because I have 3 branches. I have main, I have 4.x, and I have 3.x. But let's give it a try. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to have a GitHub environment for Nuxt. And by the way, this is the most secure way I can find. So there is this concept of GitHub environments. So nothing can happen with staged publishing, or trusted publishing rather, unless it's within this environment. And then we specifically want to protect certain branches. And the branches that we care about are release, or actually not branches, but are tags. They're release tags. So what we're saying is the only thing, you can only run a release workflow from a tag which has this particular pattern. And so this is going to be our protection. Normally you would do things like add required reviewers, but in this case we're not, because what we're doing is staged publishing, which means that we're actually going to have the review step is going to be on NPM itself. Okay, nope. So what we then do, having created this, is we need to just make sure that our actions have permission. I'm just going to require actions to be pinned to a commit char, because that's useful anyway. And then what we need to do is make sure, GitHub actions have permission to create and approve pull requests. Great. So having done that now, we have like a full release script here. And I'm just going to go into Nuxt. Not that. Come on. Nuxt. I'm going to go into Nuxt, and now we're going to add this release script. So it's going to be GitHub, workflows, and we already have a release. And this releases. Is this the same thing that also does nightly releases? I think so. Let's see, release TS. So there's a whole lot of things in here. Actually, some of them don't work. They were an experiment I was doing to test and see if I could use the OIDC token. So this does some nightly releases. So we're not going to totally get rid of it off the top of our head. I'm just going to rename this to nightly. And then create a new release YAML and paste this in. And this is going to run on push to main. And
stream is very much up for me. Page offline. Yeah, I think they are referring to the stream place stream, which
I'm sorry, the stream play stream is offline because
Okay.
it was so flaky. So we went off. It's no longer online.
What's the Twitch link?
Twitch
That's on the part.
should be good. Uh,
Okay.
I'll give you the link.
I sent already. Don't worry. Oh, okay. I have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay focused on the stay focused on the release. Don't worry.
Sorry about that. Yes, and you're right, Frankie. I should rename that. Um, oh, yeah, that is actually a good point. That we have some workflows that aren't pinned, specifically our own workflows. So we have a. Sorry, I'll turn that off. Do that as a separate thing. So the release nightly we'll call release nightly. But this is a to do. We have to change that anyway. So what we want to do is when people push to main 4.x and 3.x, then this is going to run various things. Now we also in upt have this concept of packages. So we need to set an array of packages like this. Because we have a monorepo here. So we have our steps. What is this? Oh yeah, which one? I think we really have to do it for each one. Just confirm that. So pack, release, and PR. Yeah. So pack, PR. Yes. And does this also need one? Publish. Oh, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, anyway, so we drop the with, and so we should have our packages and our, what is this? And we should have then, I don't want this duplicate with, there we go. So we should have now, I'm going to specify exactly which packages rather than use globs, but globs should be fine. So we're going to say packages kit, packages nitro server, packages nuxt, packages rspack, packages schema, packages feet, packages webpack. Okay, so that's what we should be publishing. And our, what's that? Let me just check a monorepo. So I'm publishing this, I think, on Fontaine. And did I use this? No. Where's one? I've successfully published a monorepo. Oh, cross-origin storage. I think this is not as complex as I'm making it, but I just want to check because you don't want it to fail. And yeah, that is correct. I don't have to pass the packages anywhere but the for the published stuff, just the other ones. Great. Cool. So I think this is. Oh, I have to check. Do I need to do multiple multiple branches? Why is this? base branch. Oh no, that's the readme. I am not sure this is going to work yet. I think I haven't added support for the multiple branches as targets. I think that's the main thing. Ah, okay, this is a pain. This would, yeah, that's annoying. Great. Yeah, the maintainer, terrible. Right. What are we doing now? We have, I think something's just been merged because I'm pretty sure that, yeah, okay. I think I'm going to have to declare whatever the current state of nuxt polls is going to be what's in 4.5. I don't want to add. I mean, there's more good ones here, but I think I have to draw a line. Otherwise, I could keep on going forever, right? And so I'm just going to check out. Oh. Yeah, there's nothing. Nothing staged. Okay. Great. This is my my own tool. Okay. Okay. One thing you might not be able to tell is that this is in a work tree, which you can probably tell because I have this. It's in this .workmarks folder, but it probably looks like I'm like dealing with this directly. But although I just ran pnpmi, it's actually not running on my as me. This is running as within a sandbox. So it's actually running within a Docker container, which is how I'm increasingly running everything like within containers, which I feel is a significant improvement to the interesting to my personal security. Okay, server stats total bytes. Oh,
Is that something you? Oh,
sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, is that something you've set up just through like aliases to PNPM or whatnot, or is that something you have like hooked up in some other way for your?
Exactly, it's an
Yeah,
alias.
there we go. Yeah, so just that's interesting. Yeah.
Right. That is way too big. Why is it so big? as in this is bigger. I wonder if the minifying server bundles only is an option in Nitro. I bet that's what it in Nitro version 3. I bet that's the case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that commit entirely. And no, I don't want to do. Oh. All right, the aim of what I'm doing here. No, it's not a dev container. This is actually a container. Laurie, good to see you. Sorry, I just saw your message. This is using something called workmux, which is I really like. It's built for agents, but the reason I like it is that it's what a lot of these worktree managers are, but in the terminal. So instead of something like there's stuff like supercode, which I tried. They're all agent based, but I think worktrees are really useful whether you're using agents or not, because they allow you to work on things in parallel, which is something I'm doing all the time anyway, because I'm handling different PRs and working on 5 different things myself at any moment. So anyway, there's stuff like this, and then there's like conductor, I think, this. But they're all UIs, and what I want is something that runs in the terminal, so I can disconnect from it, I can SSH in, and I can access it, and it feels a lot more raw and something I can control. So that's why I really like workmux, which is I think great. Okay.
Mind if I ask, does it, as in workmux, does it just hook into conventional tmux, or does it just basically, is it just sort of rebuilding the paradigms of tmux in its own code base?
It a
Can you
good
connect to the instances that are spawned by workmux with just conventional tmux?
No, so it is just tmux. So
It is just tmux.
right now workmux isn't a thing that's running. Workmux is it interacts with tmux. It sets up tmux. This is just tmux. This actually is not tmux. This is me just in VS Code. But when I'm using it, I'll bring it in a second when I finish this. So yeah, so workmux is a thing that you have to call. It's a CLI. It's not something that stays running on your computer or manages a state or a session for you. Tmux does all of that. Tmux manages the running session. So and also workmux doesn't just work with tmux. It also works with Zellige and what's Zellige?
I was
And
looking, yeah, it says Kinney and Westterm and Zellige, yeah.
exactly. So there are other options, and again, I really like that it's not trying to do everything itself. So it's much more. It feels much more like the Unix philosophy, like stuff like
Yeah, I was gonna
tmux.
say, yeah. Which sometimes you see people straying from with a lot of agentic stuff where they don't really necessarily understand the paradigms of how a lot of software like this is built. So it is exciting to hear something like this. It's built in such a way where it's very modular, and the fact that it's just running tmux, it means you can interact with it in other potentially unforeseen and convenient ways.
Yeah, yeah, it's really nice. Um, that's interesting because actually, I bet. Um, I actually think I might have. I think this might actually be fine, but the issue might be. I keep on trying to do my. I'm gonna just do tmux. Okay. Okay. Where are we? There. Okay. So where are we? We're in the middle of a cherry pick, and yeah, we're going to delete it, and then we're going to carry on. And then I think the issue here is we switched from node modules to libs, and that is why, oops, that is why what, how did that, oh, it did a re, I think. Okay, but I'm going to go back and change it. So basically it updated, did it update it? Did it change? Yes, this changed it. Okay, so we need to modify this one back to node modules. Okay. Right, and now this is side quest. Oh, sorry about that, Frankie. I see these messages too late because I'm sort of too focused on stuff. So I guess you probably saw the link by now. Yeah. And check out the article written by the author, this Rain person. So they wrote about their personal workflow, and that is how I came across this in the first place. This, my tmux setup. So this is really a really nice article, and I found it very helpful in just figuring out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to work. Right.
So if you don't mind me asking, I'm a little bit curious about the cherry pick you were doing there. Was that about like renaming node modules of this?
So the issue is in Nitro version 3, Nitro emits a folder called underscore lib. And in
Nitro 2?
yeah, sorry about that. In Nitro 2,
Oh, okay.
it emits a folder called node modules. And so this is a difference between the two,
So, yeah.
which is, okay, yeah, I think this is,
That makes sense. I was thinking I was going absolutely insane. It's like, oh no, there's a huge breaking change coming in, like Node to what?
yeah,
Where did that happen? How?
sadly not, sadly not. Um, Hacknug, Nesta, I mean, super engineering, does it work with stuff like tmux? Like, so I would be very up for something which is basically a front end to tmux. Like using Ghosty underneath or something like that. That would be interesting for me. But okay, so I think that's done. I think I can push those up.
Hello?
Hello. You should know that you are on stream. So anyone who is in the Discord call, there we have a nuxt.
Yeah, I'm watching the stream.
Okay, so you know. So basically, we have a Nuxtathon running at this moment. People are probably doing stuff. There won't be any more issues closed while I've been on stream because I'm the one who's marking the issues or closing them when people find out that they can be. So it will seem like nothing's happening, but that is absolutely not true. Um, I'm guessing this can be closed based on the. Okay. So I'm going to pull in.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Um, ah, I was hoping to get this one in, but it's not. I just have to draw a line. It's. Why is it not merging? Did I never? I never approved it. No, that's why it didn't
Something
merge.
good. I'm gonna keep something good emerges for next 5.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I see. Anyway, they'll all get in eventually. Um, and the plan is I'm going to release nuxt 4.5 today, and then there's still more hackathon tomorrow, and there will be more. There'll be probably some fixes to make on nuxt 4.5, so we'll have a chance to do all of that as well. Okay, so where are we? We are. Oh, that's out of date. We did it here. So we have 4.x. We have now a pull request to 4.5.
Yeah, you will release the nuxt 4.5 today, but with PNPM it will be fine to install after 2 days because of the thing PNPM 11 adds the safe thing to prevent the supply chains attack.
Okay, ready for review. Oh, I need to just quickly check to see if there's any changes to port to 3.x.
That is.
Do you know what this is? I
I
can
don't, and ah.
I can tell you what it is, but do you want to guess?
Oh, that's. I kind of don't want to. Like, I'm assuming it's not. That doesn't necessarily have anything to do with workmux and all that.
Nope, nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
This is entirely um, to do with the fact that the nuxt, the tool we're using under the hood, which is called changelogin, it has a max buffer size when it's looking at the logs of a git command, which is, I think, 1 meg. And let's see, changelogin.
Yeah, I mean that was yeah.
And so I currently have an open PR to it to increase the max buffer size. That PR was opened in October
Does
2025.
that module generate the change logs? Or
Yep, it is. And it is not merged.
why not using like my friend does the change set?
This is nothing. This isn't that. This is I have a personal CLI. You see, I'm looking to see what the different commits are between origin and 3.x. So I want to see if there are any commits that I've merged to main that I haven't yet merged to 3.x. And so that's not so. Right. So I'm going to do this one, and then I think that. And basically, I don't want to do anything. The 3.x is in life support, so end of life is coming end of this month. We're only resolving bugs, and a lot of these fixes relate to features which we're not merging anyway. So some of these we can add in, some of them not, like use async data and use fetch had a big different change between nuxt 3 and 4.
I was going to quickly ask in regards to changelogger and stuff. I'm assuming that's perhaps installed globally on your system then, and not specifically as like a dev dependency for the actual Nux project.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
My personal CLI is running in a different folder on my computer. It has a yeah, it's just does things that I want it to do basically.
Yeah, I would assume as such because otherwise I was gonna like naively, I guess, mention just the fact that like the existence. I'm sure you are aware of like the patch package, and how you could
It,
theoretically like seeing how for a larger project such as the Nuxt code base where a patch like this might be necessary, actually render sort of a specific patch to fix something like this. But yeah.
yeah, no, I'm familiar with PNPM patch. Um, so okay, so I think I'm just reluctant to. We'll do one final release at the end of the month. I'm just trying to figure out what we want to get in there for here. This is probably fine if the pre-render cache exists, which I think it does. I think this is probably safe as well. I'm not even sure that feature is there. I think this is probably safe. So
Also,
we'll,
welcome new people. We are live on Twitch, so just be aware.
it's very worth knowing that.
It's very much worth knowing that anything you say
And
will be held against you in the court of public opinion.
exactly. What is this? What? What do you mean it was deleted? Oh, yes, it's probably somewhere else. Probably at one reason why I don't like to utils cache driver. No, it's totally oh cache driver.js. No, there are too many changes. I'm sorry, this is so fun. Oh, Luke, I hear you. Okay. Which one is that? This. It's almost there. It's coming. Next up in the merge queue. Oh, it's failed. Why is that? It was cancelled for some reason. Right, rerun. It's not the link checker. The link checker doesn't block merges at all.
Yeah, and also that was uninstalling Vite Plus. Yeah.
No, that wasn't. It wasn't a failure on installing Vite Plus. That job, which was installing Vite Plus, was cancelled by another job in the.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah, yeah, because they're yeah, fair enough.
There was something, yeah, something was not so good. So if we just take a look back and try and find, I wish you could see which one is responsible, like which one failed and which ones are cancelled. So this was cancelled before it even got to build, which makes me think that it was something like, yeah, it's strange. It might be something like I pushed something to main, and that meant that it had to restart. No, it doesn't seem to be that. Or maybe there was another PR before it, which didn't merge, and it got booted out, and so this one had to, yeah, maybe this one, for example. So it's possible sometimes that happens, or this one. Both of those have been approved, and for some reason they haven't merged. Yeah, that was 3 hours ago. Bundle size conflict. But we'll. This is a never-ending cycle. Um, exactly. Stream tomorrow, releasing 4.6. Joy. So much joy. Oh, it's fun. It is actually fun. Right. So where are we? What is even happening? Oh, let me tell you. Like organizations. Oh, it's nice to see you, Gabriel. Um, I'm so disorganized. Can you believe that it's 566 open issues from well over 600 when we started this morning? Okay. This needs to be done. We'll get to that in a second. Where are we? Well, I can do it. Why not? Which one is this? Uh,
Actually, that was something I was kind of curious about, considering how you're containerizing everything. What kind of like actual benefit does PNPM have if you don't have, or I guess it would be a question of, presumably in that sandbox you're still sharing a unified PNPM cache, because otherwise, that would
I am, yes. I'm showing unified cache. I have set it up to have a global store that's shared across all my sandboxes, which is read only. So the sandbox, I don't want sandboxes to be able to write back to the cache, right? Because then you have a huge security hole. So
yeah.
the idea is that, but if the cache is pre-filled, so in other words, if I've already installed this exact same dependency on outside of a sandbox, then I want to be able to, not to download it again for the sandbox. So it's a read-only directory that allows me to install in the sandbox quickly, but doesn't allow the sandbox to write back bad stuff
Right.
into my global cache.
And then do you do any sort of active maintenance to sort of try to maintain that cache? Like you try to it updated, like actually install modern versions of the tooling and stuff that might actually ask for things there, or?
I'm generally I will install. I'll just run pnpmi in the package on my main branch, because at that point it's trusted. So when I merge something in, it's trusted because it has to be, because at that point it has the keys to. If there's malicious code in my main branch,
Yeah, it will just run in the.
it could be released to people who will install it on their computers, right? So
But so when you run npmi, like or pnpmi again, so that won't actually go through workmux.
here, so it only goes through workmux if we're in a workmux work tree. So so right here I'm in a workmux work tree, because you see it, that workmux there. So that's going to go through That's going to go through the sandbox. If I were to go to my my core repo, that anything I do there isn't going to go in a sandbox. It's going to That's my host.
Right. Yeah. So at that point you're not no longer yeah. At that point, then I'm guessing when you do npm install whatever, then installs to the same place that is the shared cache for your workbox pnpm instances.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I was gonna say like it's probably overkill to both have the cache be read only and then also separate from your main system cache, because at that point you can just use your main system cache and just have it be read only. It's not exactly going to be any sensitive information in your npm like cache.
Yeah. Exactly. Like there should be nothing there that is problematic.
Yeah.
I also interestingly have this set up so that it is, if I were to start a new work tree, uh, it has an allow list. So if you check out the documentation, you'll see this as well. But if I were to in the sandbox run something like, I don't know, Google, it's not going to work because at the network level. So if you're running code that tries to exfiltrate data or secrets, I mean there are none. Oh, the one thing there is my GitHub token. So I'm logged in, so I can, but I'm logged in with a read-only token, so it can't do anything. It can't push, but it does allow me to do things like access the GitHub API and access information that is useful.
Yeah.
So it's all very cool.
Very. Yeah. Oh, apparently also I'm not coming through to according to YouTube chat, which I mean, fair enough. I'm assuming that maybe I'm only ever
Oh,
getting sent back through the
Like just speaker playback, yeah.
I bet you're coming through really well now because I just unmuted you to them. I think probably people could hear you coming through my microphone, and now I think they can hear you properly. You want to say something and they can confirm?
Yeah, I listen. It's very funny, yeah, because my mic is probably coming through clearer than yours at this point.
Oh, okay, I'll turn you down a bit.
No, it's not loudness, just like clarity, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, in fact, from the stream, your voice wasn't the best. If
my voice.
Because I muted the stream. No, the other guy voice.
There you go. Yeah, that would sound good.
Okay, so we are up to, this is main for X. The test failures here are because I re-enabled some Webpack dev tests, and I'm ignoring them because it's a test flake and it is very annoying, and I might just as well disable them for a bit until I can get them to be. Oh wait, no. these actually do. This is a okay. This is a fix. So these things don't pass on main, but they do pass on 4.x, and the reason is that it's a nitro regression. Okay, so first bundle size. I'll just do this by hand, right?
But what about I have a question by the fact that Nitro did publish beta releases as latest tag. Like, why publish a beta release as latest tag?
Sorry, say again. Oh, the latest is the beta tag for Nitro. I think it's because the Nitro package, because there are two of them. There's Nitro and Nitro Pack. And Nitro has never had a stable release yet. So therefore, it's fine, I guess, for it to be the beta is the latest. But Nitro Pack has had a stable release, so you don't want the latest one to be 166. And okay, so that's that.
Jesus.
And then we have some tests that are passing, surprisingly passing. So we have lazy load this. Arg, go away. Respects custom delayed hydration. And so these, I'll have to investigate this later, but they're failing on main, but it seems that they don't have to fail. So test mark tests as passing. Luke, at this point, I think we are just going to update that since tag. Because the thing is, if I wait for this PR to merge, then I'm going to have to cherry pick it before I X, and then I'm going to have to wait for that PR to merge. It is too much. Right, we can actually just drop the since tag probably, and then, because I guess it will be 4.6. Or you could just say 4.6. Ugh. Why is that not a valid link fragment? Oh, maybe it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in this code base, I guess.
Also, you were getting a comment. You probably don't get this kind of feedback a lot, so let me tell you, nuxt 3 to 4.4 still upgrades flawlessly with code mod, and Agent was even able to do it without issues due to migration guide.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear that.
That's great, yeah. All the more reason to move off nuxt 3.
Okay. Hey, Undertale. Nice to see you. Right. We are so close. Okay, let's go for 3.x. I should probably wait until it passes, right? Whoa. What just happened? How is this possible? Oh, this is, oh, it's because of a, right. Hey, nice to see you, Uncaught Errors. Yeah, Vapor, that's a good point. 3.6 is very nearly out. Release candidate of Vue 3.6 is actually, I think, just released. So we are so close. Okay, now while we're waiting for that PR to be recreated, come on. Let's go and close some issues. So I have got some notifications and some mentions. Let's just take a quick look at them. I think these two, and then maybe this and this and this. Let's see. So simplifying API integration. I think it's old. I think there are examples now. Yes. So thank you, Chriso. Okay. Page meta inheritance. Use state values. Yeah, no, I think this is, yeah, this is the case. I think we should disclose it. Okay. What about this? Cool. Okay, so I think we probably have some new Nuxtathon rankings. What's the latest? 81. Incredible. And Mataleo is going up that list. Let's see. Homer, welcome. Nice to see you from Brazil. Yes, this is Zen. Sorry, Mirko, I didn't see your what you were asking about. Define root meta. I don't think so. I don't think you can do dynamic ones. Mauritius. Hey, Sandeep. Okay. Where are we? Okay, so we should now have a new pull request, 4.5, which doesn't.
Can I ask you if you're able to stream also on Discord? Like maybe it's better for someone to watch on Discord instead of Twitch if he's on the Discord voice channel.
Yeah, there's a bit of lag on the Twitch stream for us in here, I guess, to sort of keep up with what's being talked about.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Thanks.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thanks.
But I need to probably deafen myself. So I think, am I silent to you on the stream? On the Discord stream, I mean. No, good, excellent. Hopefully yeah, and I'm not coming through. Actually, I probably wouldn't have come through anyway, so I'll undo the deafening. Hopefully that's going to work and not create any kind of weird things. But yes, I'm streaming in every possible way. Okay, so 3 is ready to go. 4.5 is ready to go as well. I'll mark it as ready for review, and I think we are good to go. So really, I just have to make sure there's nothing unexpected failing. And then boldly and bravely and so on, release it. And we'll do a hotfix release tomorrow, because we're closing so many bugs and PRs that we'll have to pretty much. But cool. Okay. I think we should be good to go. It's a bit terrifying because it's such a big release. It's huge.
Yeah.
A huge release.
I mean, just think of it as shortening the burden of v5.
Exactly.
Although I guess to like follow up a little bit on what was asked about in the stream chat earlier, is the sort of bigger question of, I think it was Chris who just joined in Discord. But yeah, no, it's like I don't know if it's a faux pas to ask about version 5 and how the plans and timeline looks for that.
Yeah, no, ask away.
Yeah, there were some questions in chats much earlier about it too, but I didn't know to bring it up because, yeah, I mean, besides just, I guess, release date, I guess I'm curious, like, what are the what are big tentpole features that y'all are looking at for V5? I know there's, I was sort of imagining V5 as being the big V8 updates, but I guess we're getting 4.5 here to
You are.
satiate that. Yeah, it's very nice.
So V8 was going to be a big part of nuxt 5, but it seems that it's straightforward enough for most people that that we felt we could update, like release a minor including it. So hopefully that's going to work. It's not going to be a kind of bug. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have a little like hackathon group that I will be joining up with in about an hour to experiment a bit with nuxt. So we'll be sure to pull 4.5 and see if we run into any fun, quirky new bugs.
Yeah. So sorry, I should have answered your question in more detail because I just sort of hung there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
So we're trying to keep the changes in nuxt 4.5 as small as possible, which is partly what we're doing here with 4.5. So moving as many features and cool stuff into a non-breaking release, and our hope is that it is non-breaking. So that's the hope. That's the focus. But the breaking changes will be things like upgrading to Nitro version 3. That's also one of the coolest things that is going to be happening. And along with that, moving to the environment API for Nitro. We might also look. I'm going to try and backport as much as I can. Maybe stuff like a Vite plugin, running Nuxt as a Vite plugin for compatibility with Vite Plus, for example, or pure SPA mode, which doesn't involve a Nitro build, just a sort of pure Vite build. I don't know. There might be some kinds of things like that. But we're trying to keep nuxt 5 as small as possible. And there are also some features that we currently still support, which will be dropping. And they've been deprecated for a long time, and you would have had to opt into them for a while. And so we'll be, again, dropping those. So that's the kind of thing. But again, it should be as minor as possible. So the aim is for this minor release to be as major as possible, and that major release to be as minor as possible.
Yeah, sort of balance themselves out. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, I think I need.
I did see because I tried out the V5 nightly template earlier, and I noticed that the dev tools have changed for V5. I don't know if that's also part of
Yes, you are right.
What we're getting with 4.5, or if that's a nitro free specific thing or not.
No. That is the DevTools are. There's currently an alpha release of the nuxt DevTools, which are rewritten using something called DevFrame, which Anthony Fu has been working on, which is what the Vite DevTools are built with. So, which Anthony has also built. So the idea is migrating the nuxt DevTools to be part of a bigger Vite DevTools, which actually supports all kinds of things, including things like, I don't know, the storybook DevTools and things like that. So that is going to be very nice. It's absolutely very rough edges at the moment. It's just for testing. But yes, that is...
Yeah, I ran into some immediate bugs with it and stuff, with just the main one being the fact that the little dock just started off like off screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was interesting, and yeah, there's definitely like one of the big differences being the fact that, like, yeah, it's no longer just the a little pop-up for the nuxt DevTools itself. It's like it's a whole little dock of different integration into different like potential DevTools itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should be very nice when it comes, but you're right, it is it's not...
It's rough, but yeah, it's interesting.
It's rough right now, exactly. Okay, so I also need to update this.
I actually need to go, but I enjoyed even the stream and the release of the next Nuxt version. And like I can say, Nuxt has the best community ever, actually.
Oh, thank you.
Bye. Have fun.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. Okay. And am I doing that? This, right. Fu Yu, you are amazing. Okay. I think we are... This is very long. Right, okay, so I think we're good to go with that as our... Just making sure we still have some... Oh, the build failed for 3.x. Well, that is a problem. The cache driver is important. The test is important. Okay, so right. I should not have committed this. I should have just directly amended it, but anyway. Okay. And could I guess probably directly... No, it's 2.
Also, you're getting a question in the background. Do you use any AI tools? If yes, how much?
I
And I
do.
mean in percentage, yeah.
I do use AI tools. So typically to do things like create a reproduction for something. So if somebody has reported an issue and I want to see if it's still valid, so they reported it with like 3.8, and is it still valid today in 4.4? And I will say reproduce this issue. Is it still valid? And it's great. It'll do it. It will absolutely do it for me. And so that would be an example. Another is like rebasing, or like merging, resolving conflicts, that kind of thing. But I don't know. You have to be careful. There's no.
Yeah. More so assisted than driven by.
Yeah, I want what? Oh, for goodness, that's thankfully that I didn't commit that. So I think having a human in the loop is really essential, and I think that you always want to have someone who understands what's happening and takes responsibility. And I also very much do not want to replace, like, get rid of the humanity. So the humanity of open source is the whole reason I think open source is great. So if you get rid of people and just have agents interacting with agents or whatever, I think it destroys things. I also think this is probably true in the companies as well. When people start replacing interactions between people with interactions between people and agents, I think it probably deprives people of a lot of morale and probably burns people out pretty quickly. So
I would say we currently live in a sort of environment that, like, to me also, like, as someone who very much agrees with it, this sort of very much proves those points, but it also we live in an age that very much elucidates the fact that that is not necessarily a universally held belief when it comes to open source.
Yeah.
And it's perhaps also quite, important to be aware of the fact that, like, not everyone shares the same sort of moralistic values behind the value of open source. There is the whole sort of uncomfortable conversation to be had about, like, the difference between an open source project being for the sake of being fun and something that, like, people actually enjoy maintaining and do out of the love for the game, and then the fact that, like, the reason why open source projects remain as, like, relevant as they do in sort of a corporate setting is because of the ways in which, like, corporations are also able to just sort of make use of it without having to in most cases give anything back or concern themselves with licensing or and like Regura said there, not to mention skill atrophy. It's real, let me tell you. The main reason I stepped away doing more and more of it, but I will say the newest models are quite reliable. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing too. Like, it's, I feel like, the conversation often comes back to, like, the whole thing of, like, is it assistive? Or are you using it as a tool, or are you using it, to replace, you doing things? And
so
I think it's a slippery slope because it's very difficult to sort of define either or. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I think it's very, very difficult. I'm writing something about trust, which encapsulates a lot of what I have been struggling personally with in this age. Like, I feel like there are things that are. You can talk about AI and LLMs at so many different levels. You can talk about it at the level of the technology. So what does it do? Like, how capable is it? And you can talk about it on the level of, like, how does this affect me as an individual? So does it, for example, do I lose skills? Do I... and then you can talk about it on also how does it affect groups. So how does it affect a group of people when some of them are using AI? And this, I think, is something that is I'm feeling. So when you have a... So, by the way, to answer Fuyu's question, no, you're more than welcome to use AI. But just still understand what you're doing. So use AI to augment and empower you as a person, but we want people to be the ones doing things. So sure, use the LLM to code if you want, but understand what PR it is that you create at the end of the day. And we are asked that everything that you write is written by you, not by an LLM. So your PR description can be very bad, don't worry, but I want it to be written by you. If the PR description is written by an LLM, we will close it. So please don't do that, anyone. But yeah, what does it do to a group of people when some of them start using LLMs? Because the thing is, I hope we can all agree that there's good and bad use. So there's some people who use LLMs and they don't understand, and it produces slop, and they don't see that it's slop. And then there's some people who use LLMs and they use them really well, and they produce great work, right? So there's this huge spectrum. But the moment in a group of people, and this is the weird thing, people who previously produced really good work can suddenly start producing slop. Yep. Because they're because maybe they have AI psychosis or something, and they don't even look anymore. They're just like, oh, it must be good. And yep. So and sometimes people who produced really good work before are still producing really good work. It's actually not about the person's skill necessarily. It's something else. And so when you have a group of people and some people start to use AI to do things, you do not know how, I don't know. A PR is open, and it's open by you. And I know you sometimes use AI, and I don't know. I don't know now. I don't know how well you reviewed it. And actually, disclosing that you used AI isn't that helpful, in my opinion, because sometimes that even makes people more careless. They're like, I've disclosed I use AI. It can be, and maybe it's slop. Who knows? But it just destroys this sort of idea of trust. This idea I can trust you to do a good job. I can trust you to care. I can trust you to look and take responsibility for this. Actually, a lot of people, even people who are really good at what they do, really good engineers, I can't trust them necessarily to do it. And I know this because I also know myself. And I know exactly how sometimes I've done stuff that actually that was slop, and I shouldn't have done that. And so I think it can really eat away at the trust underneath in a community or in an organization. Foji, nice to see you. You've come in the middle of a very intense rant.
Yeah. No, because I was gonna say, the thing is, up until this point in basically all of human history, anytime you present, a body of work, and when it is a significant body of work, be that any type of writing, or in this case code, there comes a certain implication that if you produced this much and it's not immediately apparent that it's just scribbles, then that a certain amount of thought must have gone into it. There is a historical sort of even if you were to write faulty code, if you are pushing 2,000 lines of code, there was always sort of an implication of, well, you still had to sit down and sort of not give up through all this time. And there's a certain amount of just implicit human consideration that has to have been put into all of that stuff, because you had to do all that manually. The problem with a lot of these LM sort of revolution is, let's see who's joined us now. Flo. The thing that that happens is that now people can confidently can present a huge body of labor, a huge body of, in this case, code, with the confidence of a professional who believes in their code base, without actually having any idea whatsoever of what they do, because they can just they can present the code, and they can even have an LLM pump out a giant body of the actual pull request body, and it can look like it might actually be sane, when in reality it can be absolute sludge. It can be completely illogical and completely hallucinated.
Yeah,
there's just no way to tell, because we now live in an age where you can't gauge the effort that went into something just by its existence and its presence and stuff. And
yeah, it's true. Queens, good to see you. Yeah, but I mean the thing is that yeah, it's sort of it messes with our minds, and I think this is the problem. And I think part of it is most of our existing tools like ESLint or VS Code or whatever, they didn't act like people. One of the things that LLMs do, they act like people.
Yes.
Like they go and do things, and they relate to you in language. And so like there's a lot of stuff where, I mean, we know this is not a person, but the way that it acts is person-like. And so all of our
it's modeled after human behavior still. Yeah.
and so all of our existing, like, the way our brains work, we relate to people in one way, and we relate to tools in another way. So now you have a tool that's acting like a person, and it is very, very, like, it messes with your mind. And we have to figure out how to do that and stay sane. And I don't know why. I think we should be. I know that I see. I think everyone, regardless of whether they use AI, regardless of whether they think AI is good or not, everyone should be a skeptic in the sense that everyone should be approaching this with this is a massive thing, and this affects our minds, this affects our beings, and affects our, what is humanity, and like what do we care about, what really matters. It's not productivity, right? Like, it's not lines of code. Like, there's things that we actually shouldn't care so much about, that we thought were important before, and actually a lot of gatekeeping before. Oh, you can't reverse a linked list. Well, now everyone can reverse a linked list with like one line of prompt.
Yeah.
So those things weren't actually not as important. It was more about the thinking and the being and the. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and again, it also gets kind of dark, because then you get into the whole question of like, but no, it really, but like, those are the things that matter. Like, there's also the uncomfortable truth of the fact that, like, as LLMs start to automate a lot of things, we start to realize like a lot of work is incredibly repetitive, and like nobody does really care if it is right or wrong, and you can get away with just submitting slop. We're not even talking about code here, but like a lot of just like jobs where. Yeah, it can be like completely automated with AI and stuff, and people are even like accepting of the fact that like, oh yeah, no, like, we spent $200 like getting this output and it's wrong, but it's the future. It's an LLM, so it's okay. Like it's incredibly uncomfortable, and you start to realize that like how little, in some cases, like how little like concern we have for like the humanity and the actual like craft and artistry of these things. And yeah, that's where things get really depressing, and yeah,
it's true.
There are more fun things to talk about, like 4.5 release.
What is your GitHub handle, by the way, Worm?
Oh, mine, Oxbase64. I can send it in the.
Okay.
I don't have much impressive stuff.
No, I was just wondering if I was seeing any of your stuff coming in.
Oh, absolutely not. No, I should clarify. I am. I would love to be able to contribute. But I am very much a novice. I am genuinely still at the like stage of trying to properly like understand node-based web development. Like I am far back.
Yeah.
I'm very far away from actually being able to contribute. But I'm here. I'm curious and interested to learn.
Well, glad to have you here.
Yeah, no, I have been working on migrating an old personal website of mine to Nuxt, which was very has been a very enjoyable experience, even though it's a very sort of basic one. But there's a lot of just semantics and stuff, and I've had trouble in general just finding people to talk to about stuff like this, and just learning about Nuxt and whatnot, because a lot of the resources and whatnot have just not quite clicked with me. So it's I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be talking and chatting and making friends.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Which is part of the point of open source, right? Or not? Maybe maybe the whole thing, right?
Yeah. To me, it's absolutely like it's the fact that like if you're developing something open source, it's most likely because you value the community aspect of it. It's certainly the case for me. Yeah.
It's how I got into programming at all. Like the you know, you can go so far playing around, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like I'm ready to release this. Should I release this? I should release this, right? I shouldn't be waiting too much longer. I
Let's see if
think
it builds first.
there is this
Sorry.
one that would be super nice to include.
Yeah, no, so let's
Come on.
give it a little spin.
Come on, build. But we got update app config in there, Luke. So if you're still here, Luke, it's in.
Because I was gonna say like I approach programming very much more so as an art rather than like work. It is one of those things where I do it for the love of the actual process itself.
Yeah.
The most recent project I've been sort of working on, which is again far away from nuxt itself, is I've been working on a project to ingest and sort of like catalog videos downloaded with YTDLP into a SQLite database in such a way where, because one of the options you have with YTDLP is you can embed a JSON metadata file with a bunch of like information about the video and embed it into a Matoska container when downloading things. And I thought it would be really neat to, if you have a large body of videos, to be able to go through and basically index all of those videos and the JSON data of them into a SQLite database. And then SQLite lets you then parse the JSON metadata, and you can do a bunch of interesting things. And it's a SQLite database. It's universal. So my hope is to perhaps build some sort of front end to this in some way. It might start off as just like a CLI to navigate sort of your collection, and then hopefully I'm hoping to maybe build it out into like an actual proper nuxt application, so you can have like sort of a front end for your own sort of local archive of downloaded YouTube videos and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think it's the best thing is to build something for yourself, and then you then want to make it better, and you want to fix it, and absolutely.
Yeah.
Def Colony, I see your message, and I'll do that. I can't quite figure out how to do it, but I'll do that. Okay.
Also, who's a LinkedIn user?
Someone on LinkedIn who is not given probably.
Are you streaming on LinkedIn?
Yes, I'm streaming on LinkedIn.
You really are streaming everywhere, huh?
Believe it or not, I'm streaming on LinkedIn. So and sometimes people watch it on LinkedIn, so you never know. Maybe it bypasses the work filters. Yeah. So like at work, it's like, I'm on LinkedIn. Yes, I'm listening to. Yeah, you go on LinkedIn, Nesta. You can see this stream if you want to, but LinkedIn has this very strange thing. So things come in as like comments here in the stream, but they're just like comments on LinkedIn, so that they just persist. Like they're not time stamped. They're not in a stream or anything. They're just like comments in response to a video. Like so it's very. It's not. It's a very strange interaction.
I was gonna ask, like, are the names like intentionally anonymized here to just be LinkedIn users, since most people use their real names on LinkedIn, or is this just a matter of also the API itself not giving you an actual username?
I think often it gives a real person's name. So the fact that it says LinkedIn user probably means they have some kind of privacy setting turned on in their account.
That's fair. Yeah.
Which is probably means that Restream, which is the integration I'm using, doesn't have access to their name.
Fair,
which is fair, right? So okay, let's release 3.21. Wait, that one built, right? 3.21, 3, yeah.
It's still building.
No, it's just waiting for this action to run.
Oh, okay.
Which is frustrating. Yeah, we should definitely. Yeah, we should check if it's still. I'm just impatient. I mean, come on. Why is stuff not ready to go? Hey, someone just sent a message from LinkedIn. Guillermo de Leon. Well, we saw your name, so yeah, maybe it is LinkedIn user. Yeah. I should change my name. LinkedIn.
It's user. The LinkedIn user. Yeah.
Huh.
Gotta start praying to LinkedIn user. I want a job. I want a job.
I feel like we're waiting. We're waiting. This is maybe a good time to have a quick break and go and grab a cup of tea. It's never too late to have a cup of tea. There will be people who say it's too late to have a cup of tea. It's in the evening. Hurrah!
Welcome, Boshkarev. You're on
Yes, you're
live internet television, so
you're live. You're not. It's not just the small friendly Discord community you're in. You are being streamed. Yes. I feel like have some tea, pet the cat, push the button. That could be like a song. I feel like that
Yeah.
could be like some kind of chorus. You can imagine a beat behind it, right?
yeah.
Who wants to play I Spy? Oh. So I guarantee you there will be bugs in this release, and I am sorry about that in advance. But I felt like people didn't have enough to do in the Nuxtathon, and so
Yeah.
maybe if I gave them some more to fix.
Exactly.
And I've got to say, I actually pre-cleared this with Flo. I know I said that only issues created before Tuesday counted, but if you find a bug in 4.5 and fix it, it counts. Okay, we're counting that for sure. Hey Cody, nice to have you here. We were just talking about LinkedIn, and here's proof.
Ariel, yeah.
Okay, we went through the first changes gate.
Gotta but I gotta look over. I have a repository. Still using an old Docker deploy script. I need to migrate it to the new. It's called. Docker has a neat new like opinionated workflow for publishing containers. That is wonderful because it no longer must you do like the 5-step process that is the same every single time. So no real reason to do it every single time. It makes much more sense to have it be. It's quite neat.
Ooh. Thank you for spotting. CodeRabbit is not a bad little bot.
Yeah.
How even did I type that? Right. What? Oh, nice. let's see what happens. I'm pretty sure there is a way I can credit
Hmm?
Okay. I think I probably just broke Flo's thing, but I just gave CodeRabbit a credit. Yeah, that's not working. Let's remove that. Let's just change it to just CodeRabbit. Oh, maybe it has a, maybe it's like CodeRabbit AI or something.
Hello.
Yeah, that's it. There we go. Okay. So now CodeRabbit AI has a point. If you are joining, no, it's not your bug flow, I think. I'm not sure CodeRabbit bot, or maybe CodeRabbit bot is a user. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, it's displaying properly, which is all that matters here. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? That would be like, that would be such an insult to like everyone who is spending all of their time working on this thing. If I
Yeah.
just came and I was like, yeah, let's give this bot lots.
We'll pit CodeRabbit against Reptile or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just Robo Wars.
Yeah.
Trained in the quantized specifically just to maximize the amount of PRs. PR each commit individually.
I think that there are bots that are trained in exactly that way.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They produce more, yeah, like that, they do the thing that they ship more code, which is the thing that you want. That's what makes a engineer better, is how much code they push. My static page has billions of lines of code.
Yeah. Okay. We're building. We built. I think it built. It built. It built. That's very promising, and I feel like surely we're going to be okay, but it's taking so long. It's because we have so many different, we have 3 different branches. We have PRs in progress, merge queues happening. So let me check something. Well, I feel Flo has a point. I was looking at this comment here. Codspeed and CodeRabbit have very similar logos. I've just noticed. Okay. Um, that is true. It is SoundCloud. That's absolutely right. It's the same colors and everything.
Yeah. Reminds me, I need to check on my reverse proxy that's doing some wacky business.
I would hope we would be able to bring nuxt to Vue 3.6 to nuxt 4. I'm not sure that that has to be a major.
I guess that's the next good question. What is nuxt? What is v5? Skip over v4 completely. Actually, I don't know.
Why not? Why
It's
not?
in the pipeline for v4. Yeah, it's a show of courage.
Okay, 9.
But it's a genuinely interesting question of. I don't know what Vue has cooking.
Vapor is what Vue has cooking. That is the thing, more than anything else. 4x. I am really glad that there's not yet any failure. Although, that's just timeout. That's fine. That's totally fine.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, it's called Vapor Alpha branch now. It's not just Vapor.
Yes. I think it should be. Is
I
it
remember
not merged?
I remember following Vapor for a bit, but now it's been so long I actually don't remember quite the extent. So that's gonna be a fun little.
Oh, I hate it so much. Hey, edit, yeah? Alright, edit. Edit, yeah, Hall. I'm trying to find out where your first name or your second name start. Nice to see you. Anyhow, that is one of the main reasons why we felt that it was so straightforward to upgrade for people to V8. That we did more. We did more than that. There are changes where we changed ESBuild options because we don't use ESBuild anymore, and so where we were setting ESBuild, we now set and changing from rollup config to roll down config. So there's some things like that that happen internally, and there's I think some different, but most of those things Vite handles. So Vite handled the backwards compat, which is why it worked fine for you before, but there were still some changes that we needed to make internally before making the framework itself depend on V8.
does remind me. I'm curious to see if Vite Plus ever really takes off, because I haven't really seen much talk of it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm experimenting with it in some of my repos, but I think the thing is I'm not interested in Vite format. I'm not interested in Ox format or Prettier. I prefer to use ESLint for that. And OxLint is still has a huge gap in that it doesn't lint like view single file components, which means that for me in most cases I would either, if I want to adopt OxLint, I then need OxLint and ESLint. And so you have to have a situation where it's beneficial enough to run two different processes to do checking rather than just run one, even if that one is slower. So it's a tricky thing. And also a lot of the slowness of ESLint came from type-aware rules, which thankfully OxLint has now implemented through TS-GoLint. But it's not a straightforward thing. So then drop Ox format and OxLint, and so what you're left with are Vite and VTest and TS-down. And in a nuxt project, Vite doesn't run. It's not the CLI. So you're running nuxt, which means you're left with vtest and TS-down. But in a nuxt project, you're not running TS-down, so you're just left with a vtest. So and the command capabilities of Vite Plus. So Vite Plus has a number of things like caching, and there's some type checking, and so those are very relevant. But a lot of the unified toolchain for everything is just not applicable to nuxt. It would be more applicable in a project that was just bare TypeScript, or more applicable to a project without Vue, or more applicable
obviously that's just built on Vite rather.
Or built on Vite, absolutely. So it's interesting.
I guess I should say, like, one of the big reasons that, like, why it is interesting and attractive to me, there are some features to Vite Plus that you did not actually mention that are actually part of why it appeals to me as a novice and as a beginner. One of the most probably by far the most restrictive part of getting into Nuxt, just in general, like, again, node-based web development stuff, is just how scattered and all over the place the tooling is. Like, it's just an absolute sort of chaos of trying to acquaint yourself with what tooling you should be using exactly. Like, even following the instructions on Nuxt's own in Nuxt's own documentation. If you go by the front page, you're told to use npm, but if you read the installation guide, I think for me it defaulted to the bun instructions afterwards and stuff. And realistically, you probably also don't just want to be using pure Node in a current situation. Like, one of the big problems that I've been running into personally as someone who is again trying to get into web development stuff, is if you're not trying to make an opinionated choice quite yet and you're just trying to do things as vanilla as possible, how do you start working with Node and npm? You install Node, but there's basically no official way to install Node. Like, if you go on Node.js and you're following their instructions, their recommendations for getting Node.js, the quote-unquote official instructions, is to use an unofficial third-party Node version manager, such as Node version manager or fast Node manager, or additionally Docker. There's literally they don't recommend just installing it directly onto your system as a binary, but that is technically the only way to officially install Node, and that's also not how most distros or systems would really want you to install things, because you're probably going to want to switch between versions, especially in something that has such volatility between versions as Node. So you're going to want to use an actual version manager. You're going to have to use that, and even just getting a version manager, all of these version managers, be it NVM or FNM, are all installed on a user basis, so it's not installed globally on your system, which already breaks some of the conventions that you might be used to how tools and stuff operate. All of this stuff adds a at least for me, added a tremendous amount of friction trying to even just, again, get through step one of the getting started process for working with Nuxt. And frankly, any web development in general. And you know, that's also perhaps speaking from someone who has a little bit more experience working from Rust, where you have very like streamlined and unified tooling. Because I don't know if you worked with Rust or whatnot, but Rust has a very sort of nicely unified and streamlined tool set where like to manage the actual installations of Rust itself and the actual compiler and whatnot, you use RustUp, and then to manage your project, to install dependencies, to do all that stuff, build everything, you have Cargo. And what's nice about that is that's effectively universal. That's going to apply to all like Rust projects unless specified otherwise. And that's really nice. It makes everything very approachable. Whereas with Node, like I have, like with Node-based web projects, like I have no idea where to start if I'm looking at a project. It's like, does this still use Yarn? Does this use Node? This one only works with PNPM, not NPM, and does not work with Bun. This one only works with this specific version. It's just a mess.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that like really appealed to me about the concept of something like Vite Plus is the fact that it's not just about like all of the tools that are also coincidentally written in Rust, but also the fact that like it provides a unified set of tooling.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you. Yeah. I mean, what I'm saying isn't that the vision isn't great. It's that it's not there yet with Nuxt, for example, because half of the things it's a slow move. So, for example, if we can go to, if for example Nuxt can expose itself so that it can, for example, as a Vite plugin, so that it can integrate more deeply with Vite Plus, then maybe, for example, it would immediately become more beneficial to people.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's Also, yes, welcome to JavaScript is...
exactly, yeah, that's the problem. This is the ecosystem. Like, the answer to this is there isn't a simple answer. The lack of a simple answer is the state of the, of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's certainly made the beckoning call of LLMs all the louder. Just tell it to figure things out for you, yeah. Ugh. But yeah, that's what interests me about Vite Plus. It's like it's supposedly, early on its development, it's very easy to go like, oh, it's just a beta. It's going to be so much better in the future. But like, a lot of the products that have been, run by Void Zero, have obviously shown to be very, very impressive and very interesting. So, like, I think they potentially do have the possibility of making Vite Plus into, the end-all, be-all tooling. It's just a matter of, will it? We don't know yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like you said, like, an illustration with, like, Nuxt, where you're doing a lot of deeper integrations with your actual tooling and whatnot, it may not make sense to sort of try to confine yourself to this, one-size-fits-all solution. Which, again, I feel like is also very much the case with a lot of JavaScript frameworks. It's the question of, like, is something like this even possible? Is it possible to really offer a, one-size-fits-all set of tooling? Like, like I said, it would have to be plugin based. It would have to have the flexibility of like being able to operate with all of these different options and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ay.
Hey, Dizzy, long time no see. And Potato, it is going very well. We have, I think, 94 issues closed so far, which I'm just over the moon. when it comes to that. 95, crazy. And there are more PRs that are just need to be merged. And I'm about to release nuxt 4.5, which I mean, like everyone, thank you so much for waiting with me while we wait for CI to resolve. How slow is this, right?
Still stuck? Jesus.
The problem is, the main branch is much faster than the other branches, but we need to get the other branches to do it. And even main is slow, particularly when you have workers that are like runners that are so saturated with all kinds of different. So yeah, we're getting there though. Like, look at
especially
this.
when you're looking at it, obviously it's going to slow down just because it's got all this pressure of it.
Exactly.
An audience. It's gonna...
Yeah, actually, what I'll do is we're almost there with 4.x. That's good. And 3.x. Let's see. Here we go. I'll open that. So now we can just have a look at the little dots. That'll tell us when we're there. Cool. Nestor is quietly going through and finding all the Hey, nice to see you, Joshua. I think we could run CI elsewhere. Yeah. Why do you have some nice boxes just waiting to run some CI jobs, Nestor? Yes, Rigara. I think the idea. I think I saw some. I think Tangled. I'm sure there's some CI service or open source project that does exactly that. Like you run locally and it counts towards the running in of the PR.
I think I've heard of Blacksmith as being like an alternative and stuff, and I think they sponsored some open source projects as well, but I know that their like whole thing is the fact that it's sufficient, like immensely more efficient and like higher performance. And I guess also sort of harkening back to what you were talking about earlier about like how hard it was to see like when like a job failed and then all of the like dependent jobs like were cancelled because of that. Like they supposedly offer better insight into stuff like that, but I don't know if that's the case or not.
Yeah, good question. Bobby, nice to see you. And we're all sending our PR jobs to Nestor now. The other part of the problem though is that from a security point of view, we absolutely cannot use anyone's random VM because you then lose the integrity of the CI, which unfortunately does things like publish. So it becomes very problematic. Blacksmith or something like that would work, but mostly it's I mean, I tried npmx. We tried blacksmith on npmx, but it didn't save any time. It's probably because it was already, in fact, it was slightly slower than the GitHub runners. And so we already used some really fast GitHub runners, like the ARM ones. I'm not sure. Maybe we were just not the specific niche that that Blackbox is. Maybe like bigger runs, or I'm not completely sure. But for whatever reason, it didn't work for npmx. But come on, people, we're there on the 4.x one. I think with it.
Blackbox GitHub Actions.
Say again.
I was asking, what were we talking about? Blackbox GitHub Actions?
No, Blacksmith.
Oh, Blacksmith. Oh, you have tried Blacksmith.
Yes. Not for nuxt. I tried it for npmx. But part of the problem is it would cost. And
yes, yeah. Now again, I'm trying to think. Like, I think they've done some stuff of like sponsoring some open source projects and stuff. I think so. Like, yeah, yeah, because they have a thing. If you scroll down a little bit, open source project. We see GitHub's free plan falling short of open source projects. We want to help. Yeah, because yeah, right. I think it's because I saw like Ladybird do some stuff on that.
I don't see that.
It's on. If you go to the pricing page and you scroll down, it's a little bit difficult to see. Get past the giant gradient enterprise thing and scroll down past the startup discount. You get the OSS part.
Cool. That's very generous.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Oh, and Nesta, what you ought to run, if you're interested, if this is the kind of thing that interests you, check out Cocore.
Huh.
Yes, Johannes, that's the one. That's the one. Oh, maybe this isn't the one. Where is it? No, this is there's actually a project to do this. I'm sure I've seen one somewhere. 98 issues closed. We're going to get up to 100 by the end of today, for sure.
We're going to get to 100 before we release 4.5? That's the real question.
It seems like it. What? How dare you fail a job? Like, the jobs of the release don't matter at all because there's no changes on it. It's literally just a bump of the version. But for some reason,
that's all the more reason to be like concerned about is the inconsistencies of the CI jobs. Yeah.
Absolutely. This one just timed out at 43 minutes.
That's great.
It's basically it's Windows. So the Windows is so slow. And look at this. This is just Webpack, Watchpack calling over and over again. We're not doing this. This is not something Nuxt is doing. This is just Windows and Webpack, I think, as far as I can know. And then it just times out. Yay. Like that should have taken much less. So that was 42 minutes. This one, 22. This is also running some Webpack fixtures. If you have a pure, I don't think we even have a pure Vite fixtures. We split the Webpack and the RSPack ones across Vite. Yes, Rogera. Yeah, it might be dark. I mean, goodness, this is just very slow. I think I have to go get that cup of tea. Chris, we should find the bug and fix the bug. If you're here, you here, Chris?
If you mean me, yes.
Yeah. Should I call you Chris?
But It's a C12.
Christopher?
It's in NJS C12, right?
Yes. Yes. I think so. It's possible it's not, but I think it's in C12. I'm
So you would not consider a fix in nuxt kit. You would consider in the dependency repo, right?
Oh, I think if there's an issue opened against Nuxt and you solve it somewhere else, that counts for the Nuxtathon.
Oh, that's not the topic of if it counts, but I'm interested how you
Oh,
could go there.
I,
Okay.
I would prefer to solve it as like upstream as possible. But if we
Of course.
can't if we
Okay, got it.
can't solve it upstream, then or if the maintainer doesn't want to solve it upstream, then we can solve it in Nuxt. So
Okay, got it.
it's and believe it or not, that is not sometimes that is the case where you find a bug and they just don't think. Um, Ooh, a new contender has entered the arena.
I just got a sudden flashback to I follow a different project that is currently experiencing a strange influx of like uh, AI generated polls, but like what I mean by strange is not like it's not just that like oh it's a more commits than they can manage or whatever, which it's, that does happen too, but it's the fact that like a lot of them are just weird, like someone like committed an entire like pull request, but the entire pull request description was the title of the request, and then the description was shorter than the title itself.
Hmm.
Which made me realize that like I guess there's no technically no like reasonable like pull request character limit for like a title field, which is interesting.
Ah, yes, we need to fix that. And you've had loads of notice, so much notice. I mean, crazy amounts. No, I announced it on Tuesday, so there was no notice at all. It's insane that we have this incredible site that Flow put together. Um, and if it goes well, and I think it's going really well, we'll do another one, and we'll do it better. Like things will be more integrated, and there'll probably be more people because there'll be more notice. But you know, we're the
Start
OGs.
small, yeah. Gotta take care of the just to figure out the kinks beforehand.
Absolutely, Julian has to. That's going to be the main prize. Is Julian is going to send a Nuxt cake to every person who, well, maybe the winners of the hackathon, something like that.
Ooh, that would be fun.
The Minister of Microservices, the Vicar of Vue. Okay. Depot.dev. Cool. I will check that out.
Hang on, let's see here.
Flo,
Yeah, I'm gonna.
you're there. I just saw Flo's video is on. Like, he's illuminated. Very saint-like. That's impressive.
Yeah, I've heard about Depot as well as like another GitHub Actions alternative. I don't know exactly how they compare the two of them, and I don't know if they have like an OSS program as well. Yeah. I am going to head off for a bit, though. I might be back a little bit later. We'll see.
Oh, nice to chat.
Yeah. Cheers.
We are so close to these being green. And I think actually, look, I am going to do this. Ooh, Nesta, that's not a bad idea. If you want to implement it on the Nuxters, I would. We definitely need a. Someone had the idea of a label, so like or a Discord role or something that you can get with Nuxters. So you log in on Nuxters, and if you were in the Nuxtathon, you can get like Nuxtathon 1 or something like that, which I think is quite a cool idea. I think, look, we're mostly there. We are expecting these to be green. They're green on main. And these are just two last little tiny... So close, right? It's gonna be there in a second. So close. I think one of the things that would make this better is if we had a better UI. Rather than just thousands of lines of logging. Well, if it just gave you a proper little progress bar and you had an idea about how close you were to being done, that would be so much nicer, right? Okay, 31 minutes. We've got to be done now, right? This is almost has to be. That's that awful little watchback error. Bobby, I actually merged I'm calling it a feature into nuxt test utils, which silences logs. So, because at the moment, none of the logs are accessible in any way to the actual test. So if you're running it within vtest, you just get lots of mess on the screen. The tests can't access it. And so it's just, in my opinion, not helpful. So this this PR changes it so it captures everything. So the server logs are captured with we have pipe, and they're captured, but then they're accessible within the tests. So the tests can actually get them with this get server logs function, which is maybe a better way to do it. And you can also customize what the log level is by passing that. And yes. Oh, and you can disable it, so you can change it. But I think it will really improve like what it feels like to run the fixture test suite. Definitely, I tried it out on Nuxt and it made a big difference, and I hope it will make a big difference for you, because if anything, IHNN is even more profoundly a user of fixtures than Nuxt is. It'll mute everything in the tests, Rogara, but only in tests, like in end-to-end tests we're talking about. Anything that would have come out in the server log. So in that console, you'll just see the vtest UI instead. It will make it harder to maybe spot the cause of bugs. That's the only potential worry. Whoa, we're there, people. We are at 100 issues closed. That is amazing. What a team. annoying me. Ben! Hello! Nice to see you. It has been ages. Come on. Okay, it's there. It's there. So 3.x is ready to be merged. Okay, right. Release happened. Nuxt 3.21.9 should be out. Say that. Is that out? Yes, it is. Cool. Okay. Which means we are very close to 4.5. This is a lot of lines. Come on, Webpack. The problem is I don't know, does this mean the test is failing? I don't think so. I see we're going through the tests. It's just this is a Webpack error which is being logged for every single one of them, which is, I don't know, it's a crazy thing. This is not okay behavior. Okay, I have some. Yeah, we've not maybe done too well on that. We need to keep telling people about it. NPMax, I'm glad you like it. Okay, so. Oh, and it timed out or something. Is that what happened? No, it didn't. It's listed as cancelled. So yeah, timed out at 42 minutes. We're rerunning. Well, actually, I think I'm very happy to release it because I think that's a flake. It's not a thing that we need to worry about. So here we go. Let's release 4.5. Okay, whoever has the fireworks, get them out. I'm gonna do this thing. Oops. Okay, now I have learned that just because everything seems to be going well does not in fact mean that everything is going well. So I always like to check that, that it actually in fact releases. Before I really celebrate. Congratulations to a lot of people for this, I will tell you this. Okay, we have some other issues that I might be able to close here. Now, it might be possible. Maybe. Maybe. It definitely feels like RSpec has a lot of momentum at the moment. Okay, release. Okay, it's released. It's out. It's out, people. So I'm going to go create that actual release here. Ooh, did I not copy it? I thought I copied it, but no. Where is it? Not this one. Come on, people. This is okay. 4.x. No, stop. 4.x. Oh, I'll just do this. Closed. There we go. And now we release 4.5 to the next blog. Oh, and now I should come up with like a once after that I'll come up with some social media. But I really need a cup of tea. And I think we can say we've done it. We've released 4.5. So thank you everyone. Try it out, find the bugs, and then you have things to do in the hackathon, right? So I will be hanging out in the Discord channel probably for quite a while. So I'll see you later. But I'll drop off the stream here.
Yeah.
See you later.